Welcome, friends. Today, we are doing another fragrance review. That's right, friends. Today, I am back with another fragrance review. This time, from the house of Thierry Mugler, their latest Amen offering, Fantasm. For those of you familiar with the channel, you will have seen the content I posted over the weekend when I did a first impression on this and then did a live stream entitled Designer Perfume is Dead. That should foreshadow what I am going to say in this review. This review will follow my tried and tested trusty technique, which is where I will tell you the notes. I will tell you the notes I get, and then I will just talk about the fragrance until I'm sick of talking about it. So this review could really be over by now, to be fair, following that structure, but no. The notes are citrus, pink pepper, bergamot, which is a citrus, dark chocolate, clary sage, and patchouli. The notes that I get are chocolate, vanilla, and amberwood. Okay, I will read the blurb to you first. It's just a little blurb here. Amen Fantasm by Mugler is an amber aromatic gourmand fragrance for men. The scent opens with an explosion of citrus and luminous notes of bergamot essence, contrasted by the spicy freshness of pink pepper. The heart features an intense and mysterious accord of Grand Cru dark chocolate, enhanced with clary sage and modernized patchouli. The fragrance is housed in a black bottle adorned with a silver star, capturing the essence of masculine pleasure. Right, my opinion. This is shite. This is absolutely shite, and it's not necessarily just because it smells crap, which it does. It's naff. It's because of what it's done and what its predecessor, Amen Ultimate, has done to one of the great fragrance lines and one of the great original perfumes, masculine perfumes ever, the first gourmand. Insane. It's just insane what this perfume has come to represent. I've had this perfume for 3 days. I usually have perfumes for years before I review them, but this is such a basic shit, no mark perfume that I feel completely at peace reviewing it today. 2 days. I've sprayed this perfume about maybe 10 times. So I sprayed it about 3 or 4 times when I did my first impression. I did that on skin because I wanted to give it the full treatment when I did my first impression. I sprayed it yesterday. And I'm going to spray it again today. I'm going to spray it on card though, because this will never darken my skin ever again. I will not have it. It's so much more than just a bad perfume though. It's boring, which is so much worse. There are some interesting bad perfumes, you know? There really are. Dare say I might own some, or I may have smelled some, but I can't believe I've just sprayed that 3 times. Let's talk about this one and why it's fucking awful and you shouldn't buy it. Okay, so this starts with something that smells very reminiscent. There is the slightest hint, and I mean the slightest hint, of the caramel that used to be in the original. There is some of the chocolate and some of the patchouli that it claims to have as well. I also get a little bit of that. Clary sage, and a little bit of something resembling a citrus top note. That's it. That's all gone. That's all gone now. What you get 5 minutes into this perfume is vanillic, creamy ice cream, like an ice cream, like a chord note, whatever it is, as if you've taken a scoop of vanilla ice cream out the middle of a Neapolitan ice. You know Neapolitan ice cream? Chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, right? You don't like strawberry, so you've taken the vanilla and you've taken the chocolate, but the chocolate is anemic. The chocolate note in this is extremely thin. In fact, I changed my mind. In my first impressions, I said I didn't think this was bad and I didn't hate it. And I don't hate it for the first 5 minutes. It's what happens after that, which is most of the life of the fragrance. It's chocolatey, it's vanillic, but it's more like vanilla ice cream with a sprinkling of cocoa powder on it. The chocolate is very thin. It's not dark chocolate, not by a long shot. It's not dark chocolate. They can say it's dark chocolate as much as they want. I can say I'm a millionaire as much as I want. Doesn't mean it's true, you know? This vanillic, anemic chocolate accord persists, actually, to be fair, for about an hour. You know? For about an hour. And then it starts to fade. And it becomes thinner and thinner, and the vanilla becomes thinner and thinner as well. And all of a sudden you're like, what is that slightly dry, dusty, gritty, granular thing coming in? And it comes in very subtly, but it grows and it becomes a bigger and bigger percentage of what you can sense in the fragrance, until you realize after a few hours exactly what's happened, and that all the other notes have dried off, and what you are left with is a singular, granular, chalky, dusty, awful note of amberwood. And that's all there is left. And you realize at that point that this is just another another modern designer perfume that is completely copped out, completely tapped out, and has taken the boring, easy way out using a singular, monotone ingredient in the base to fabricate the tail of this fragrance in perpetuity. It will last. That note will stay with you for at least 18 hours. That note. For the first hour or so, you get vanilla and chocolate, very anemic, very thin. And then all it is this amberwood note, which is exactly the story of every other designer perfume released. As far back as you want to go at this point. You don't see deviation anymore in designer perfume. There's no plurality. There's no opposition. There's no... I was going to say integrity, but I think that there never was. There's no alternative anymore. And what has generated such a strong reaction from me is that Amen, Angel Men, is one of the great fragrances of all time. Men's fragrances and women's fragrances. Angel for women is absolutely brilliant as a fragrance. This house, Thierry Mugler, rebranded to Mugler by L'Oreal on the... well, maybe not by L'Oreal. I think that the whole brand's been rebranded to Mugler now, so the fashion and everything like that's Mugler. Has been completely gutted, hollowed out, broken, and turned into white noise. This is an also-ran perfume from a house that was never an also-ran. You go back, you put into YouTube, into Base Notes, into Parfumo Fragrantica, maybe it's not in Instagram, but if you go back and you look, you see the following that this line of fragrance, this particular line of fragrances amongst men had. Pure malt, pure Havana, pure wood, pure tonka, ultra zest, pure chili. All those flankers and more. Pure shot, which they had to remove because they used Oscar Pistorius. They used Oscar Pistorius as the face of that perfume, and 6 months later, he shot his girlfriend. That is pure perfume heritage, and it has been absolutely destroyed, betrayed, sold at the altar of amber woods. A cheap synthetic note that they cannot use enough in perfumes because it's a cheat code. The original Amen utterly changed fragrance, male fragrances. It was the first gourmand fragrance. Angel for Women utterly changed women's fragrances. This used to be called Angel Men, by the way. The originals of this were called Angel Men, and then they changed it to Amen, which was a brilliant marketing move. But they don't care about that. The DNA is gone. Go back and look up Angel Men DNA, Amen DNA. Amen DNA was an original Fragcom meme for flankers. It was a byword for how you do a flanker. You use the original DNA and you put a twist on it. That's how you make a flanker. These were insanely popular. They stopped making good ones, so they stopped making the perfume instead of just staying true. You know? They've bastardized the legacy. There are stronger words I could use, but I won't, because it would be inappropriate, massively. But it feels that way. If you have been around fragrances for longer than 5 years, you will know what this fragrance meant. If you haven't, this probably isn't the review for you. You may even like this fragrance. People who were around before 5 years may like this fragrance as well. But I don't, and this is my review. And I'll say what the fuck I want. This is a terrible perfume, and to me, it encapsulates, it's a microcosm of what has happened to designer perfumes. Signature perfumes, not the Dior Privés, not the Tom Ford Private Blends, that sort of thing. They're on their way, as are niche, and indie was never a thing. It feels like an existential crisis, friends. It feels that way to me. And I will leave you with that, and I will say goodbye. Bye.